So we're just going to be working through this practice test to help prepare you for your SAT coming up. Now, I guess when working through these questions here, you just got to make sure that you're filling in the values that are corresponding with the values that are provided to you in the question. So we can see here that you're saving up a deposit of $110 per month. So obviously you're putting regular payments in, so it's your PMT. You've got a return of 4.25%. How much it will be saved after 8 years. Now, obviously the money's compounding monthly. You're putting the value in monthly too. So after 8 years, 8 times 12, so you've got 96 periods. Now, when it says how much is saved, obviously you want to know the future value here. So that's your question mark in this sort of question. As you work your way down, David then decides he wants to start joining the payments. So basically he starts putting in $220 per month over 4 years. And we're using the same rates here as the question above it. So how much does he save? And you can see that his value obviously is a little bit less than the value above because, or as in the next question says, why aren't the values the same? Well, essentially, he started saving over 4 years, so the interest wasn't compounding over as long of a period as we've got in the question above. So the more the money has there to accumulate over in the interest account, then the more money it's going to earn over that longer period of time. So basically what he decides to do then is if he needs to save $15,000 over the 4 years, how much does he need to deposit? If he's only depositing $220 per month, how much the interest rate he needs to find to be able to accumulate $15,000 in the future over 4 years. Now the important thing with this question here is you just got to make sure that the PMT is positive and your future value is negative. If you both have them positive, the values won't work. So that's just a really important part, otherwise you will get the incorrect answer. And what you'll find is that David needs to find an interest account offering 17.07% return, which is extremely high. In this question here, it does say, based on your calculations, what's the reasonable of the account, David's account? Well, it's not very reasonable because no bank's going to be offering 17.07% return. Most banks offer 2 to 4%, and you'll never find a bank account that's offering 17.07 in this day and age at the moment. I mean, obviously that might change in the future if interest rates rise incredibly, because I know back in 30, 40 years ago, interest rates were hitting an all-time high of around 17%. But at the moment, we're only working at about 2 to 4%. Question F calculates the tax that David may be paying in his first year of his savings if his tax rate is 37%. Now this here is just a formula, so we're not working with that just yet. So what we need to do is we need to find how much he's saving over that first year of payments. So the N is just 12 because it's compounding monthly. His payments are going monthly. Then his interest rate is based off of 4.25%. His PMT 220, and we're just finding the future value here. So we've got the future value of 2,692. Now the thing is though, interest isn't charged on the 2,692. It's charged on the money he's earned on top of the amount he's put into the bank account. So the amount he put into the bank account was $220 over 12 months. So that's how much he put into the account. So that's not interest. This isn't solely the interest earned. His interest is earned is the future value minus the total amount he put into the account. So that's what this value here is. So the total interest he's earned for that year is $52.04. So he can only be charged tax on that 0.04. So that's when you need to work out now his tax rate is 37%. So it's 37% times the 52.04. We get $19.25 he needs to pay in tax. So his after-tax return is 52.04 minus 19.25, which means that at the end of the day, after he's paid all of his tax of 37%, he's going to have a profit of $32.79 in his bank account. Next one, basically, what is one way in which David maybe reasonably reach his savings goal from question D? Well, he can increase his PMTs, higher interest rate, weekly deposits as opposed to monthly, so changing the time periods, and lump sum deposits as well he'd be placing in. If you can think of anything else as well, feel free to put that in and just make sure you're justifying it. This one here basically says, at his in preparing for his retirement, Arthur determines that he's currently getting a monthly income of $3,700. Would give 2 reasons why the income of $3,700 per month when he decides to retire will not be enough to provide you your usual standard of living. Now, the cost of goods and services are going to obviously increase over a certain time period, but that's just due to inflation. So over time, inflation will drive up the price of general goods and services. So that's pretty much the big reason. I know it says 2, but goods and services is the reason why costs will go up due to inflation of those prices in those sectors. Next one, inflation of 3.2% for the next 40 years determine how much, the value of that 3,700 will be worth in 40 years' time. So this is just the formula here. You got your 3,700 multiplied by, now we're using 3.2%. However, you need to put it into a decimal. So you need to get rid of the percentage. So it's just dividing it by 100. But also, because we're working up, we want the value to increase above 3,700. So basically, we need to make sure that we put a 1 in front of it, because this will ensure that the value increases over 3,700 and not decreases. So it's just to the power of 40 over how many time periods it is. So it's 40 years. You get your value. So 3,700 is equivalent to $13,043.36. Next one now is looking at how long will it take to reach a certain goal of